Well, howdy there guys, and welcome into today's video, Financial Education 3 Squad. I have a special one for you guys here today, okay? So we're gonna talk about my net worth. This is one of the questions I get more than any other out there, okay? I think I was even on Google messing around one day and I typed in my name, Jeremy Lefebvre, and the first thing that came up was Jeremy Lefebvre net worth, okay? So there's definitely a lot of people that have always been curious about like, how much money am I worth, okay, and things like that. And I thought, let's do a super in-depth subject on this. A lot of people think it's just like, oh, it's just like a number, like, oh, I'm worth $5 million, I'm worth like $7 million, or $10 million, or $15 million, or whatever. And it's like, it's so much more complicated than it really seems. And I thought, let's go ahead and do a super in-depth video. And I don't think literally I've ever made a video in the history of my YouTube channels that was directly about my net worth. So Financial Education 3 Squad, I hope you guys really enjoy this. Please smash the thumbs up if you don't mind. That helps out our little channel massively. And yeah, I thought I would do this for you guys here today because it's a little different type of subject. Obviously, I keep my main two channels around just stocks and stock market investing. In this channel, we get on some different money subjects. And this is a big one. This is obviously a very big one, okay? So we're going to talk about my confusing net worth, which is extremely confusing, okay? I'm going to explain all this in detail and how confusing it can be. And the thing is like, the more money you have, the more businesses you're invested into, or like just the bigger the numbers, the more confusing it gets, okay? I mean, think about it like imagine a company like Tesla, for instance, right? That's a stock that obviously I own, a lot of people own, right? That's a company in which it's worth, some people value it at $50 billion. Like some people wouldn't even pay $50 billion. Like if Tesla was valued at $50 billion, I wouldn't even pay that, okay? Meanwhile, here today, there are people paying over $500 billion for essentially Tesla's corporation, its market cap, okay? So, I mean, just like the bigger the numbers are, the more confusing things get, the more people can say, well, that should only be worth this. You should only be worth this. That company's only worth this and things like that. The bigger it is, okay? I mean, think about like Apple. Apple's like a $2 trillion plus market cap. And other people will say that should only be $1 trillion. Other people will say it should only be $500 billion. Other people say it should be $4 trillion, right? And think about that. That's like trillions of dollars of difference that people can have an opinion on. So the bigger the numbers are, the more confusing it gets, the more of a mess it can get when it comes to figuring out either a company valuation or net worth, which a net worth essentially is very similar to a company valuation. You're looking at all these different metrics, numbers that you could likely get for different things. It gets so stinking confusing, okay? And that's why I've never even tried to address the subject, because it's like, where do I even start with this? Well, this is my best attempt to, okay? So first off, if I'm thinking about like myself, there's the easy numbers first, okay? Easy. This is the easy part, then we get complicated, okay? Easy numbers. So I could probably have like roughly around $1 million cash, something like that. Doesn't mean actual physical cash. It just means like money in checking accounts, savings accounts, could be money in like CD accounts, anything that I can get to in a very quick amount of time, like no problem, okay? So let's say around $1 million roughly, okay? So if you're doing the numbers right there, roughly $1 million, okay? So I could be like, I'm worth $1 million, okay? Well, I also have several $1 million invested in stocks, right? In terms of the stock market, in terms of my stocks accounts, like this is something I've been building for over a decade now. I've been in the market for like 12 years now, okay? I have 4 big accounts, all right? I have, when I say big accounts, I mean accounts that are 6 figures or 7 figures, okay? I have, obviously, the smallest of the bunch, I believe, is the dividends account, which is available for everybody to see every move I make in that account and how I built that over the past year. That's available for everybody in the private group to see. The dividend account, like I think I was like $150,000, $160,000 in it right now, okay? Then we have my retirement account, okay? Then I have the public account, which is also available for everybody in my private group to see every single move I ever made. We just hit over $1 million in there very recently, so super thrilled and super happy about that. That's an account I started a little over 3 years ago. We're now over $1 million in that account. And so, that one's at probably 1,080,000 maybe, or 1,050,000, something like that. It's over $1 million, okay? And then I have my main private account, which is an account that I've been building for the longest of any of those accounts. And, that account's up there. Let's just put it that way. It's a pretty nice number. So obviously I have, several $1 million invested into the stock market, okay? So we add up these numbers, we add up that number, and you can start kind of figuring out some numbers here if you can do some simple math, okay? Then real estate, okay? I would say, these are conservative numbers between the different properties, probably 500,000 to 600,000 home equity, just because I might control a couple mil, let's say in real estate. A lot of it's on loan essentially. So what I could get for that property and what would actually be mine versus what would be the bank. I would say roughly 500,000 to 600,000, maybe potentially up to 700,000, something like that, okay? So that's easy, that's cake, okay? But the thing is, I got other stuff that might even dwarf those numbers I just told you there, okay? And this is where things start to get really confusing, that if you're trying to figure out my net worth, how much I am worth financially, this was the easy part. This is all cake over here, okay? Then we're gonna get complicated, all right? Here comes where the confusion starts, okay? So first off, I have 3 different YouTube channels, right? I have Financial Education 1, which I started over 4 years ago. That one is probably approaching 600,000 subscribers now, right? Each video I put on that each video I put out on that channel usually gets on average probably over 70,000 views, okay? So more than a football stadium of people is watching every single video I put out. Like if you just click on the channel, you look at like what are the view numbers per each video, usually 70,000 plus, okay? So what is that channel worth, okay? Like just think about that. A YouTube channel has to be worth something, right? All those ad dollars. I mean, just off the ads that are showing off that channel this year, I could probably make 400,000+ this year just off the ads that were showing on the main channel, somewhere around there roughly, okay? So that's worth something, right? And you can say, well, what if you just stop producing content? Well, even the backlog of videos would still produce content, right? But that doesn't really make sense, because that's like saying, well, what if, everybody just stopped working at Tesla, the company? Well, obviously the company would be non-existent if everybody just stopped working, right? And it wouldn't be worth nearly what it is. So assuming I continue to work and put out videos and upload valuable content and interesting content, things like that, I mean, I think you could easily justify a valuation on that of $1 to $2 million, right? I honestly, personally think those numbers are low. However, how do you value a YouTube channel? Like, this is so new age stuff, right? Like, how the heck do you value that? Like, YouTube's only been around, let's think. YouTube was created maybe probably less than 15 years ago, right? And YouTube didn't really start to reach a lot of the masses until the past, let's say within the past 10 years. So this is such a new age thing that's like, how do you even value that, man? I mean, I would say conservatively $1 to $2 million, okay? Then I have Financial Education 2, which is a much smaller channel. It has probably maybe 150,000 subscribers or something like that, okay? And when it comes to Financial Education 2, that's a YouTube channel that I think I'll have made 6 figures off of this year, just off ads that are shown on that. Never mind anything else, okay? Now, keep in mind, okay, and so I would say that channel, you could make a valuation case at least 500,000 to $1 million, okay? Keep in mind, I don't even do affiliate programs, okay? Webull, I could have made, if I was hawking Webull links like everybody else in the creator space is doing, if I was hawking Webull links in all my videos on both those channels, I would have made at least 3 mil. Just from my 2 YouTube channels, just from Webull affiliate links, because they pay out ridiculous amounts of money, okay? I know several creators that have made 7 figures off Webull this year. And I'm the biggest direct stock market investor out there. Like Webull, like it would have been in the millions of dollars, needless to say. So, I mean, like the valuation, like I think these numbers are extremely conservative, given that I could have just done affiliate links and made more money than I put these valuations up just off that. Never mind ads, never mind future revenue and profits, which is how things are really valued. Like, those are very conservative numbers, okay? Financial Education 3, my newest channel, I would value that at least at 100K plus, just based upon the type of views we're already starting to pull in for that. And, obviously if we keep putting in the work on this channel, it should go a lot higher than that. So, I mean, the YouTube channels are worth many millions of dollars. Just like no other way of slicing it, like many millions of dollars. It's just a question is, are you valuing these at like 2 mil? Or are you valuing these more like 3 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil, okay? I can make a case that they're worth more than 5 mil. I mean, you think about stock market space, the amount of people that watch my videos and follow my content that have significant amounts of money, I'm probably one of the top creators on YouTube in terms of people with a lot of money actually watching my content, right? So, I mean, it's literally in the eyes of the beholder. Like however you want to value it, you can value it, but it's in the millions, right? 2, my Instagram, okay? Like, how do you value an Instagram page? But specifically, an Instagram page that wasn't built off ads or collaborations or anything like that. An Instagram page that was built just off me shouting out in videos to my subscribers and people going out of their way to like follow me on Instagram. And how do you value an Instagram page that has at least 2,000 plus people on it that have $100,000 plus net worth? Like, how do you value that? That's just like, how do you value that? Because there's no direct money made from Instagram. Like if I post an Instagram story that gets 15,000, 20,000 views, right? I make no direct money off that. But once again, what if I'm hawking affiliate links or something on there? Like I could easily make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just on like affiliate link swipe ups. Like that's cake, okay? So I think conservatively, you could value my personal Instagram page at $200,000 to $500,000 because of like how much audience retention I have on that page. And because of the fact that, a crazy amount of people with real money actually follow me on Instagram, okay? I mean, I bought an Instagram page in the past, and I think I paid like $10,000 for it or so. And it had a good amount of followers, but it was just a pretty crap page, to be honest. Like the people that were on it didn't have money. And it was just a really bad page overall. Like the amount of views it got per, how many followers it had, it was just a really poor page. So I paid $10,000 for that. It's kind of like an experiment. Like, hey, let's buy an Instagram page for $10,000. I found, oh man, the results were pretty poor. My Instagram page, it's a little bit of a different story, okay? Stock Hub. This is our Discord chat we started, free Discord chat. It's already, I think, the biggest Discord chat in the world in terms of stock market investors. We have, I believe, over 25,000 members already in there, and it's rapidly growing, like rapidly growing. How the heck do you value what is the most valuable Discord chat in the stock market community worth? You know what I mean? Like how do you even value that? It's got to be worth something, right? It's a huge community. Plenty of people in there with, small amounts of net worth and plenty of people in there with probably very large net worths, right? Direct on stock market investing, how do you value that? You know what I mean? Like, it's so new age, like Discord. I don't even think Discord's been around for that long. And never mind creating the biggest community out there, and it's rapidly growing. Like, that's just like how do you value that, man? Like, seriously, how the heck do you value that, okay? So that's why I just left question marks there, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I've only been doing, we've only started Stock Hub probably 2 months ago we started Stock Hub, maybe not even 2 months ago. And so, how do you value that? That's just a mess, okay? We get even more confusing, okay? By the way, if you want to join Stock Hub, it's absolutely free to do. Link in the description to join something that we don't even know how much it's worth, okay? More confusing stuff, okay? The private group. So I have a private stock group, right? Where basically you get course curriculum on like everything I look for in stocks, super in depth. Like I even have an options course in there. I have a dividend investing mastery course. You get become a master of the stock market. You get basically Discord chat access to. This is a private Discord that only the members are in. We have one-on-one coaching in there, I can't even think about all the value. Like, it's just like overwhelming amounts of value. Like, we have we have a white glove service where, we have people you can contact about every single thing. There's literally nothing out there as far as an educational product around stock market investing that's even in our same league. Like, everything's to be quite frank, it's a joke compared to what we offer as our, product out there. That private group, I mean, at a very low number, you could value it at $5 million. I personally think the private group's worth around $25 million. But once again, how do you value it? Are you valuing it just off the cash flows it can produce over the next year? Are you valuing it off of what it can produce over the next several years? How are you valuing that, okay? I have 100% ownership in that, right? No different than I have 100% ownership in this. I have 100% ownership in this. I have 100% ownership in this. 5 million, 25 million? You know what I mean? Like what are you valuing off of? The cash flows it's producing this year or what it's going to produce several years out? Because remember, the way you value companies, right? The way you value companies, and that's a company, no different than this company, that's a company. Like the way you value companies is off their future cash flows of several years out, right? People are valuing Tesla for what they're going to likely do in the next 5-10 years, right? So if you're doing that, you can easily get to a $25+ million number there, okay? Number 5, to add even more confusion to it, and this is a takeaway, this is a negative, okay? I owe definitely a good amount of money to the IRS at the end of this year. We've been paying our quarterlies in, what we were supposed to pay in, but I can tell you, like, it's just been a way better financial year than I had anticipated. I've made way more money off of stocks this year in terms of short-term gains taken and long-term gains taken than I expected. Like, I did not expect to make the kind of money I've made this year off of stocks, especially if we go back to the time when Roni was starting to take off, February, March, and things were starting to get ugly. Like, I thought, man, it might actually be a bad year for me. And it ended up being, this is going to be probably, I think it already is. I think it's the most profitable year for me in the stock market ever this year in 2020 in terms of short-term gains taken and likely long-term gains taken between if you add up all my different accounts. So it was just a way better year, okay? Also, it was a better year from YouTube. I got more views than I had anticipated. We made more money off YouTube than I had anticipated, so we owe, the IRS a bunch of money from that. It was a better year for private group joins than I had anticipated. Obviously, with, so many stocks of mine just hitting, it's intrigued a lot of people like, maybe Jeremy knows something. Let me, get more knowledge from him. I want to know everything he's looking for in stocks so I can do this for myself and things like that. So everything across the board is just better for me. So, I probably owe $300,000 to $600,000 extra in taxes, I would say. We'll see where all the numbers shake out. I have a lot of people I pay out money to. That confuses everything. A lot of write-offs. It's a fairly, big organization we have now. Bunch more confusion, okay? So, taxman, what do we owe them, okay? Is it $300K? Like I said, I think it's somewhere between $300K and $600K, okay? Now, those are more numbers-based things, okay? And other stuff that will never get counted in my net worth. And this is really valuable stuff, okay? Really valuable stuff. It never gets counted. I got 7 millionaires on payroll. Is that not worth anything? You know what I mean? Like imagine how, intelligent those folks are when it comes to business and investing. And the fact that I have access, that I have 7 people on my literal payroll that are millionaires. And I've made, crazy amounts of money through stock market, through real estate, through business in general, right? And to have access to those people and be able to have conversations very in depth about things and be able to potentially launch products and services in the future that we haven't even thought of yet, but that we'll probably get to because those people are really intelligent as well in this space, right? I have 15 plus people that have at least $100,000+ net worth on payroll as well. So like the talent pool I have just like in my organizations is pretty phenomenal. That will never get counted on a net worth category. You'll never see a number out there, but man, I can tell you, people are likely the most valuable thing that you can ever have as far as assets in companies. Like nothing's gonna ever make you more money than people are gonna make you because they just, they know how to execute, they know how to think of outside the box ideas. And, people is the whole thing, okay, in the end, okay? Also, like, how do we value this? The fact that I have the ability to touch basically whoever I need to whenever I want to, essentially. So like, and it's only because of my personal brand. It's not because I'm rich, okay? I can tell you there's plenty of people that have a 10, 15, 20, 25, $50 million net worth and they can't touch anybody, okay? Because there's plenty of people out there that are rich, right? What I have, fortunately, is like, let's call it internet fame in the stock market space. And so what that produces me is it produces me the ability to get to so many people. I would never be able to talk to these people if it was not for how big the following is on the YouTube channel. Never in a million years, okay? The CEOs, like they're CEOs that reach out to me. That's a difference. Like never mind like who I could reach out to or have people reach out on my behalf, right? But there's plenty of CEOs that personally reach out to me that have found my content, found my channels, found me talking about their companies and things like that, and then will reach out to me. That's a little different, right? And that's only because of my personal brand. Like I said, plenty of people are rich and they don't ever get to talk to anybody because big deal, you got 10 mil. Okay. You know what I mean? But if you're talking about somebody that has influence and can potentially influence, mass amounts of people, that's obviously big, okay? Influencers, all these people that talk to me, they wouldn't talk to me if I was just a regular Joe. They're only talking to me because I got power, because I have big numbers, because I do big numbers. Simple as that. They wouldn't have anything to do with me if it wasn't for that, okay? They would never reached out. They wouldn't be friends with me. Like, I know what it is. Like, I can accept that. Same way, I probably wouldn't be talking to some of them if they weren't in their positions, right? And so, everybody's, kind of uses everybody. And that's the same thing in every industry, right? I mean, I doubt, people that are big in the music industry, right, will talk to some nobody, but, if there's another person that's really big in the music industry that they respect, they mess with them, right? So influencers, and then capital. Like the amount of capital I can personally get to, if I need to start any project, any business, things like that, is pretty off the charts, strictly, once again, because of my personal brand. Simple as that, okay? And so those things never get counted into a net worth, but man, are they as valuable as all this stuff over here. This is just as valuable, if not more valuable, in terms of my financial future as all this stuff over here. I can tell you that, okay? This is why my net worth is so dang confusing, because you could make a strong argument that my net worth is only 10 mil. You could make a strong argument that my net worth is 40 to 50 mil. And I could see everything in between. So anyways, that's my confusing net worth. It's one big mess. That's all I know. And the thing is, like, the more companies you have, the more businesses you have, the more and more confusing it gets. And I mean, imagine if then we're in a situation where instead of I own 100%, what if I start some business over here and I own 50% or 40%? You know what I mean? It's just like, it just adds more and more confusion as the numbers get bigger and bigger. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this as always. This was a different type of video for me to do. I never talk about my net worth, but hey, at least if anybody asks about my net worth in the future, send them this video, all right guys? So I hope you appreciate it. If you don't mind, smash a thumbs up. That helps our little YouTube channel out massively. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here as always. Thank you for watching and have a great day.